views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola, everyone. Welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll hear from Dare to Be, a volunteer organization dedicated to helping New York City's homeless children through holistic programming. And after that, we sit with founder of the Art Studio NY to talk about expressing creativity through art classes for both children and adults. Then we'll have a Cocinando con vegan experience when we learn more about plant-based recipes with the Veggie Mijas. And later on in the show, Bobby C brings us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And finally, we'll speak to some of the contestants for this year's Mr. Organization competition. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour. Always inviting you to get social with us online, that is. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, don't forget, while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, Instagram, FB, Insta Stories, LinkedIn, at Snapchat, Snapchat at Rhina Valentin. All right, so according to the Coalition for the Homeless, approximately 23,000 children sleep every night in one of New York City's municipal shelters. It's also been said that 10,000 of those children are enrolled in New York City public schools and oftentimes miss days of schools due to their current circumstances. And these children, they're our future. And so the Dare to Be organization has dedicated its time and services to creating better opportunities for homeless children through their holistic programming. And joining us to tell us more about the organization are Dare to Be Executive Director Roxana Colorado and Dare to Be Volunteer Scott Kaplan. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for serving and choosing to make a difference in our future, because the children are our future.
Definitely.
And the numbers that I just shared with our viewers are just really outrageous.
Yes.
And unacceptable. And so having to work with that, Roxana, what inspired you to even take on a role like this?
I had volunteered through New York Cares, and I started seeing more of the need. And it wasn't until a holiday event that we discovered how bad it was, that not even during the holidays could kids have a memorable experience. And we wanted to change that. And so we started with just creating really good, memorable experiences during the holidays. And through time, it just morphed into what it is now, a 7-step program.
So give me a little background on Dare to Be and how long it's been in existence.
So it started in 2009. And again, it was just holiday events. We started with just creating a Thanksgiving meal that offered gourmet meal, that it wasn't being plopped on a plate. It was actually an experience where a lot of the kids had never been to a restaurant. So it was really shocking to them to have a hostess welcome them and have people serve them versus them having to go up with a plate and have food on top. And then around
like lunchroom style.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So, and instead around the room, they had face painting and a live DJ, tattoos, and just all these great activities.
So how does this work? Parents who live in shelters bring their kids to the organization to experience this. How does this work?
So we discovered through the years that in order to really provide services, the best services to our audience, we had to be in the shelters. So we partnered with the shelters to be able to deliver the programming.
Okay, and so Scott, you're a volunteer.
Yes, ma'am.
And how long have you been volunteering?
It's been, I think, almost 5 years that I've been working with them.
And, you know, volunteering means that you're just giving it your time, which is the most valuable asset one can devote to any cause or any matter. Why have you chosen to volunteer for Dare to Be?
Well, I met Roxy through a mutual friend, and just when I heard what they were doing, it was something I wanted to be a part of. You know, kids have a lot of tough breaks sometimes, and if we can alleviate some of that, then I think that's a really good thing to spend my time doing.
How has it impacted you?
I mean, it definitely gives you a sense of purpose when, you know, you see the kids just happy and actually getting to experience these things, whether it's, you know, artistic, athletic. I mean, they really cover all the bases, and it just makes you feel good to be a part of it.
And what are the age ranges we're talking about?
We're between the ages of 5 to 17, but for primarily our kids are between 5 and 14.
And so how do you provide these services? And let's talk about the holistic approach to these services.
So first and foremost is definitely through our volunteers. Without them, we would not exist. So what's been very unique with Dare to Be has been that we're fully funded through individuals versus grants or anything else. But again, that limits the growth, right? But people like Scott, when he started, it was just we found out he was into fitness and that he's a fitness instructor, and we had a long-term goal of providing fitness classes to our kids, but didn't know how to go about it. So he came and piloted the programs with us, and that was just amazing. We learned what worked, what didn't work, and then was able to offer it with other fitness instructors throughout New York City shelters. So that was really exciting. But it's really the force of the volunteers. We have repeat volunteers like him that are international and local, and they work with us for so many years.
So how often do you teach these classes? And are you teaching them to other instructors so that now you have a certain style in which you've implemented into shelters? Is that what's going? And it's Dare to Be. I know. I went in. I was like, wait a minute. What was that? He piloted at Dare to Be.
So he did the piloting. Right? Yeah, he definitely went with us to pilot it. So that's really important for us. We never just impose things on our families. It's really about piloting it, saying, okay, what's your idea? How does it align with our mission? And then our clients are our children. So sitting with them and saying, what do you think? You know, how can we do it better and improving it? But since then, he's become an advocate. And that's been really huge, and volunteering for different events when he's available. But the advocacy
for
has been
different events
huge.
when you're available. So,
Yeah.
How many kids is that in one shot? And how often? When you say 4 events, it's like there's one huge event that's coordinated. What, quarterly or monthly?
So we have weekly events.
Oh,
our
weekly.
weekly programming. Yes, we have our weekly programming that takes place where the kids are more structured and they learn how to develop it into careers, really inspiring them to see themselves, visualize themselves into having opportunity versus what they think is their limitation. And then separately, we have our distribution events, our pop-up events, where they get rewards points to cash in for the things that they receive. So nothing's ever given to them for free.
So they earn.
Yes.
That's lovely.
Yes.
So then there's that aspect of being a contribution to society that's being taught to them.
Exactly. And that's really crucial to us because when we first started, kids were just like, why do I need to learn about working or anything else if my mom has been in the system, my grandmother has been in the system, my aunt's in the system? So it was just about, I just have to learn how to work the system. We're like, oh my God, that's not the way to go about it.
So you're transforming their thoughts as well.
Yes.
That's beautiful. And so I know you're having a walk and also this back to schools right around the corner. So what efforts are being made for that contribution? And you know, everybody does book bag drives because I don't know, how many kids do you guys take care
So
of?
that's really important, and that's where we want to clarify to people that our backpack initiative is completely separate from the hundreds of backpack programs that you see. Everyone provides starter packets, and those starter packets only last 2 to 3 months for our children, and then they're left with no school supplies. So we come in and we complement it. So for example, right now we're having a distribution event on Thursday, and Operation Backpack donated all these backpacks, school bags, and all the supplies in it. So what we do is that the kids come in and they're able to get the supplies for the rest of the year through us. All their other loose leaf papers, their pencils, whatever it is they need for the full year. And so what Scott's been doing really great is that every year he does different fundraisers for our kids to be able to fund the distribution events, whether it's winter apparel or hygiene essentials, school supplies. And that's another thing. Our school supplies include hygiene essentials because our
Nice.
kids need to stay clean
Yes,
while they're,
right, yes.
in school. That's
And it's an
a big
expense.
challenge for them too.
Yes. Yeah.
So
And so you have a walk coming up this
Yes.
Saturday.
So on Saturday, I'm walking the entire length of Manhattan from Marble Hill all the way down to Battery Park. It's about 14 miles. I'm going to have some friends coming along for parts of it and just trying to raise money. You can go to walkforthekids.com and donate there to make sure that these kids get the school and hygiene supplies they need.
And so you're going to walk
Yep.
14 miles.
I love walking, so I figured let's put something I love doing to a good cause. And
It's beautiful.
last year was the first year I did it and raised about $2,000, which supplies 80 kids their school supplies. So we're hoping to get a little more, up to $2,500 this year, so we can get an even 100 kids the supplies they need.
Awesome, awesome. Wow, wonderful. This is wonderful work. And also, before we go, I want to talk a little bit about the event that's happening in September, because you have a networking event, and that's
Yes.
another means of fundraising as well for these children, right?
yes, we're really excited about our anniversary because it's the one time where everyone comes together. And we have such an incredible and eclectic group of professionals that work with us on site, off site, advocates, volunteers, sponsors, just everything as a whole. So it's really exciting to see everyone come together, and just the energy that comes into that room is really spectacular to experience.
Well, congratulations on
Thank
that. That's
you.
happening September 26th, right?
No, that's actually September 16th.
September 16th,
On
and
a
you're celebrating
Sunday.
9 years, right?
Yes, 9 years.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you
9
so
years.
much.
And serving
Thank
our
you.
children
Thank
in
you.
need.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, and hopefully will be a contribution to this as well.
Yes.
So, Dare to Be, the Walk for the Kids, that's going to happen on Saturday, August 25th at Marble Hill, 225th Street at 11 a.m. And for more details on the walk and the Dare to Be 9th anniversary celebration event taking place September 16th, you can visit dare2bnyc.org. Okay, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear of one of the city's top-rated art studios, so don't go anywhere.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions,
Love it.
cross-referencing travel sites, and booking all your flights with those.
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like, aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Love is kind. Love is patient.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. Don't forget to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So the Art Studio NYC is known for its great art classes inspiring creativity for the last 14 years. With their intimate art classes and professionally trained art teachers, everyone from children to adults are bound to have an artistic experience. So, joining us to tell us more about the art studio, along with her book release, Your Creativity, Discover Your Inner Artist with 15 Simple Painting Projects, we welcome founder of the Art Studio NY, Rebecca Schweiger.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today.
Don't you just love how I just threw in the Rebecca? Right?
It was perfect.
Welcome and thank you for being here,
Thank
Rebecca.
you.
And thank you for bringing in the colors. Yes, love that. Tell us about this art studio that you've been able to sustain for all these years.
Absolutely. Well, I started the studio 14 years ago in my bedroom, in my one-bedroom apartment with 5 students, and committed to a passion of bringing art and creativity to as many people as possible. My feeling and experience has always been that art is not only for creating something beautiful on the wall, but it's really an experience that can transform people's lives, bring greater fulfillment, happiness, joy, and connection to oneself and other people. And so 14 years later, we have about 100 classes a week.
Wow.
And growing throughout all of Manhattan and bringing that type of joy to as many people as we can through creativity.
Wow. You know, and what I really enjoyed researching most is how it's almost a family affair. Like you, the way you offer the classes are kind of intergenerational. I don't know if you offer them according to level of artistry, but the fact that I was able to see a whole family together reference your space or the art studio as their second home, I found that to be fascinating because from what I read, it seems as though their pastime is spent being together in an art studio.
Definitely. So we have students from ages 2 to 102.
2 to 102?
Literally.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow.
And everything in between. And we specialize in working with people who are total beginners to people who have more experience. And yes, the Art Studio New York, a lot of our students consider to be their second home. So children will come with their parents, people will come with friends, with partners, and people will come on their own and end up leaving with a sense of a community that they've been longing for who knows how long. And people really feel that when they come into the Art Studio New York, their worries, their concerns, their stresses really melt away, and we do our best to take care of everybody who comes as if they were really our family.
So how long is an art class?
The art classes range anywhere from 1 hour for kids, 1.5 to 2.5 hours for adults. And then every now and then we'll do a one-day workshop where people can really dive in for 4 or 5 hours.
Is that what we just saw? Is that what we just got a glimpse of?
Exactly. We're getting tastes of all of the different types
variations of classes,
exactly,
right? Which
exactly.
is lovely. It looks like a party. And it's interesting, right? Because it's without the sip. But because that's the latest thing nowadays, you know, sip and paint, right?
We do offer that too.
You do that too? Okay. That, of course, for the adults.
It's not our top class. However, sometimes people do just want to come and have a glass of wine, let the steam go from the end of the day, and have fun. And so we offer that too. And every now and then, someone who's taking an ongoing oil painting class shows up with a bottle of wine. Whatever works, whatever makes people feel comfortable and relaxed.
It's nice that you mentioned the oil painting, right? So what are the different styles of artistry that are offered in the studio?
We offer a very wide range of class types, from oil painting to acrylic painting, figure drawing, collage, mixed media, and then we have a lot of classes outside of the studio. We have art classes in Central Park, at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and then in a number of senior facilities, schools, program centers throughout the city. And really the string that ties it all together is that we really focus on each individual's self-expression. So regardless of whether it's oil painting or charcoal drawing, we focus on you as the student, and we really do our best to nurture you and bring out your creativity so that your sense of self-expression in the world is enhanced.
Lovely. Sounds like a lovely community. Now let's talk about this book.
Yes.
Release your creativity.
I brought this for you.
For me.
And I understand your daughter is very creative.
Yes,
so they're-
Travida. Yeah, she loves to draw. And I love the colors.
Thank you.
In your cover.
That's actually one of the projects in the book.
Nice.
So Release Your Creativity was born out of the need for people craving a sense of creativity in their lives and craving more fulfillment and joy. And I was actually approached by the publisher, and they asked me if this type of book would be something that I was interested in, and it just happened that this is my calling in life. So the book is broken up into 15 chapters, 15 different art projects that anybody could do, from my 8-year-old niece to my grandmother. I won't share her age or she'll be angry with me, but she is my grandmother. And we walk the viewer and the reader step by step by step, whether it's painting, mixed media, abstraction, realism, and then along with every chapter is a growth message, a personal growth message, how to become a more patient person, how to go after your dreams, how to be more compassionate with yourself, so on and so forth. And through the painting experience, we learn all of these different types of ways to grow as a human being.
You know, what's beautiful in when I'm visualizing and rather reading and just absorbing in as I just skim through the book is that, well, the first thing that popped out is there's no cheating in art, which I thought was hilarious. But I noticed that there's a lot of philosophy applied to the, it's somewhat instructional, but it's more than that.
It's definitely instructional, and you're right, it's definitely more than that. The message is you are creative, even if you don't know it yet. And let me guide you so that you can discover what's already inside of yourself. And creativity is not just painting a painting. Creativity is how are you creating your life every day? How are you creating opportunities? How are you navigating life's challenges? And through the painting process, one can really learn more about how to be a more successful and happy, healthy person in their daily life. And so the projects are an introduction. Through the book, I really encourage people, find what interests you, find what you're passionate about, and put your own unique mark into your artwork and into your life.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all
My
of that.
pleasure, my
And
pleasure.
I'm looking forward to Release Your Creativity. The book, A Creativity, Discover Your Inner Artist with 15 simple painting projects is available on Amazon. And to join one of the Art Studio NY classes, you can visit theartstudiony.com. Okay, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to learn about some healthy plant-based recipes that you can enjoy. Don't go anywhere.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody.
So we're good? What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, always inviting you to get social with us online, that is. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. Our next guests are a part of Veggie Mijas, a collective that exchanges plant-based diet recipes while promoting healthy eating and sharing useful knowledge about the vegetarian and vegan lifestyle. Currently, there are 15 Veggie Mijas located in 15 other states, and well, they've done potlucks for people to enjoy, and well, we have two that are joining us here today. They're going to talk about the collective along with the upcoming vegan panel with La Raza de Liberation. Please welcome Veggie Mijas members Annalise Fritas. Yes?
Annalisa Freitas, yes.
Annalisa Fritas and Ashley Dume. Dume. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for being here. So let's talk about just the vegan lifestyle as we prepare this fabulous dish that I'm looking forward to diving into.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you do? Yeah, I
Me
came
too.
here with an empty stomach. I was
Yep.
like, oh, we got the Veggie Mijas.
Ready for lunch.
So Annalisa, are you one of the founding members?
I'm not a founding member, but what I did do was host the first in-person potluck that Veggie Mijas had. It had been living on Instagram as a brand and was an idea that was started back in 2017 in August. And when I found it just scrolling on Instagram one night, I reached out and we decided to host a potluck at my home in the Bronx.
And Ashley?
I'm not a founding member. Our founding members are Amy and Mariah, and they started Veggie Mijas while they were in college last year. And then they started in August, and then that February they decided to turn it into a collective for women of color. So I found them on Instagram as well. And ever since I went to the first potluck that was at Annalisa's house, I got really involved. I have been featured on our Cocinando Con. On our Instagram story.
I love that phrase. So I loved it, right? I was like, oh, we're going to talk cocinando con Rhina hoy, oíste.
So 2 of my recipes have been on there. My first one was mushroom fajitas, and then the second one that I just did was a vegan tres golpes that I did.
A vegan tres golpes. And today you're mashing up?
Chickpeas. We're
Okay,
doing
so
a...
I just want to show everybody because she's already in action, and these are chickpeas that she's mashing up, and this is new to me too because I've never, believe it or not, even thought to mash up chickpeas.
Yeah, so we're making a chickpea mash. So this is like an alternative to egg salad or tuna salad, and it tastes really good.
Well, we love chickpeas anyway, and you know, chickpeas kind of covers everything under the gamut once you put the veggies attached to it because they're protein, they're a form of protein. But let's talk a little bit about how you decided or became vegan.
Well, I decided when I was a senior in college, I was thinking about it, and I started doing things slowly to like try to be vegan. I had stopped eating red meat and pork when I was like 11. And then later on, I stopped eating dairy, like dairy milk. And then when I was in college, it was really hard. I was poor and I didn't.
Hilarious. Right, she was like, well, in college, you know, I was poor, so I had to eat whatever I could, right?
So I didn't really think it was possible. I also lived with like roommates who like weren't vegan at all. So I started doing like research and looking at vegan documentaries on Netflix, and then when I graduated and I moved back home, it was so much easier because I was in my home, like in my kitchen. I started making up a bunch of recipes, looking up recipes, and I just basically took it from there, and that was 2 years ago.
Nice. Well, Annalisa, what's your story?
My story is somewhat similar, just in the sense that I grew up knowing that I had an irritation or like an allergy, but not a life-threatening allergy to dairy products. Completely ignored it, would go through like packs of cheese sticks as snacks every day. And eventually, you know, when I went into college, my body really couldn't take it anymore. I think similarly, I was on that college diet of fast food and decided to go see a homeopathic doctor who tested my body, and they gave me a list of a bunch of foods that I wasn't supposed to be eating. And a lot of that included soy, sugar, dairy, and eggs, and a lot of processed foods, extra additives and toxins that really go into the food that really don't belong there.
Right, no, and it's interesting how the body, once you stop putting certain things in it, it rejects it, right?
Absolutely.
I know, I don't eat meat either, so I understand. And so, what is this you just put in there?
I put apple cider vinegar to make it like acidic a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'm also putting lime juice.
Okay, we're gonna squeeze some lime juice in there, and this is all good stuff for you as well.
I'll help you out a little bit.
Yeah, she's like, come on, let's hurry this up. She's like, I'm gonna help you out. I think I'm gonna help her out too. All right, so we did some apple cider vinegar, lime, what's this?
Black pepper.
Black pepper. Gotta spice it up a little bit. What else we got there? And so while we're doing this, I want to talk a little bit about the organization. You guys are going to be speaking. Are you on the panel? Are both of you ladies serving on that panel?
Well, Veggie Mijas will be on the panel.
Veggie Mijas
yes,
as an
a whole.
organization, okay.
And then we're doing it in collaboration with Raza for Liberation, which is another vegan organization that promotes human rights, animal rights, and it connects people of color. Some other organizations are Philanthropia, Woke Foods, the Food Empowerment Project, so just similar organizations like ours who basically promote veganism within Black and brown communities, and talk about human liberation and animal liberation.
And animal liberation, right? The rights that animals have. That there's a term for it that I saw La Raza had on their website. Species.
Maybe anti-speciesism.
Anti-speciesism.
That's right.
Right. Which I found very fascinating, because I wonder, especially being raised Latina, we're not really brought up to even consider these things.
Yeah, it's a very new term even for me. When I became vegan, it was really about my health. It wasn't necessarily about animal liberation. But I think inherently when you become vegan, it opens up all these other doors around conversations about your not only relationship to food, but the world around you and the products that you're putting in your body. As I mentioned, I think in this country in particular, when you talk about being vegan, it really is about resistance, and it's very, very much inherently political, because we are rejecting the standard norm of violence that's a part of the food system, the commodification of the food system, and the unequal distribution of resources.
I love that you're saying all of this, and we're missing steps in the process. Because, but I love it. I love it, and I'm glad that we're able to share this with our viewers. But I want to catch up here, because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What did she just put in there? This is blue agave. This is agave. You put agave in there to sweeten it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just
okay, so we got agave, and then we got onion.
Onion powder.
Onion powder.
Parsley. Red pepper, because I like spicy food.
Right.
Salt.
Right.
And that goes last. That's smoked paprika, and I just put garlic.
Okay, so right now, is there a particular order you put it in? Because we're talking, and she's like going. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, wait. Apple cider, pepper, lime, then agave, and then onion powder,
red pepper,
salt.
Garlic powder.
And
then smoked paprika's last to make it look
the
nice.
paprika, right, of course, to give it color.
Because
we're women of color, so we gotta color up the.
And you gotta taste it during
because
you gotta make sure you got the balance
right.
Oh,
okay, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Okay, and then I see you have tortillas here, so it's served like a sandwich.
Yeah, you can. I like to do it either with Ritz crackers or on a sandwich, and I'll bring it to work and just eat it like that.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to trying this. Okay, so I think it's mashed enough. I mean, she's patient. I would have been like, ta. I'm like, she's like, every single garbanzo. I mean, chickpea.
Yeah, I think that's the cool part about what Ashley does is, you know, inventing foods and developing foods that are going to speak to a stronger palate. I think when I started looking into veganism and realizing I actually had to make my own food, there was a lack of resources around this type of recipe. So I'm really excited that Veggie Mijas and Ashley are doing things like this to bring awareness.
I love it. I'm really happy to meet you ladies.
Happy to meet you as well.
Yes. All right,
Okay,
so
so
we're
we
going to
can try
toast.
now.
We're going to toast.
Salud.
All right.
Provecho.
Vamos a ver.
That's great.
And then it could also go in a tortilla as a sandwich.
I would like add avocado to that.
Yes.
Just, you
I've been
know,
eating a
add
lot of
texture.
avocados this summer.
I'll probably add maybe like chopped up celery,
That would be really good,
tomatoes,
too.
To give it like
spinach.
texture.
That'd be great. It's great alone too.
All right, so I'm not going to be able to eat that until I wrap us up, but let's really quickly before we go, thank you for sharing this dish. This dish is just a chickpea salad with all this wonderful ingredients mashed up, so it's an alternative to mashed potatoes. Well, even though mashed potatoes are, you can eat mashed potatoes as well. So, but however, it's to diversify it, right? You do these wonderful, and so how often do you guys do the potluck?
Hasn't been on a schedule at this point. We've really been, whoever has energy has decided to do it. There's been one at my house in the Bronx. There's been another one in Brooklyn. I believe there might have been another one coming up in Queens.
And so how does one become a Veggie Mija member?
You can just DM us or email us, veggiemijas@gmail.com, or we're on Instagram as Veggie Mijas.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. It's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you
Thank you
too.
for being
Nice
here.
to meet you. Thanks so
and,
much.
once again, the vegan panel network that the Veggie Mijas are going to be a part of and chill event that's taking place on Saturday, August 25th at V-Spot Organic Restaurant located at 12th Street on Mark's Place, right? And the event will begin at 1:20 p.m. A very interesting time for an event to begin. And for more information on Veggie Mijas, be sure to check them out on Instagram and Facebook at Veggie Mijas. Okay, so stay tuned because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next. I'll take that. Veggie Mijas.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College. And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at BronxNet.tv. Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV. From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.
Let's begin on the NFL gridiron, where the New York Giants and the New York Jets are set to square off tonight at MetLife Stadium for bragging rights and the Snoopy Trophy. And isn't that more valuable than the Lombardi and winning the Super Bowl? Speaking of Super Bowl champions, our BronxNet cameras have enjoyed plenty of great moments thanks to former Big Blue wide receiver Victor Cruz. The salsa dancing machine helped bring the G-Men their last ring in the Big Apple, but injuries have ravaged his career ever since. And this week he decided it was time to step away. Cruz announced his retirement Tuesday and will join ESPN as an NFL analyst. There will be plenty of salsa in that studio. While Cruz is calling it a career, Eli Manning is still going strong at 37 years old. This week, Manning said he plans on proving the Giants right about keeping him under center and instead drafting Saquon Barkley. Barkley looks every bit the number 2 overall pick. The Giants running back flashed his potential on his first carry of the preseason, and his hamstring injury hasn't been the source of any panic lately, which is a good thing for the Giants, their faithful, and probably the NFL, which will benefit from having Big Blue be relevant this year. The Jets, too, might be relevant. Led by Sam Darnold, the Jets draft class could be its deepest in years. Darnold is the headliner, but the Jets are excited about the potential of more than just their future franchise quarterback. Despite Darnold's rise in the preseason, Giants' new head coach Pat Shurmur said Jet fans shouldn't sleep on signal caller Teddy Bridgewater. Shurmur coached Bridgewater in Minnesota. The quarterback is coming off a bad knee injury in 2016, and his surgeon said this week that he had a toothpick of a leg to rebuild. Bridgewater has looked really good this preseason and could easily be the starter in Week 1 for the Jets. He could also be dealt by the Jets if they feel that Darnold or returning starter Josh McCown is a better option. Knee injuries are always a concern, and perhaps the Yankees are going to have to worry about Aroldis Chapman, who has been dealing with issues for a good part of the season. Chapman says he felt some of the discomfort in his knee while he was warming up Tuesday night. He added that this time the pain was worse than it had felt before. That prompted him to call trainers. Not a good sign for the Yankees and their stretch run. The Bronx Bombers are really banged up. The names on the DL have been huge. Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, and most recently this week, star shortstop Didi Gregorius. Yankees manager Aaron Boone called the left heel injury to Didi a pretty bad bruise that landed the shortstop on the 10-day disabled list Tuesday. The Pinstripers still managed to hold off the lowly Miami Marlins 2-1 in 12 innings, a highlight of the week. Giancarlo Stanton had 2 hits in his homecoming, but Chapman left the game accompanied by a trainer as the Yankees beat Miami in extras. The Mets also enjoyed a pretty good Tuesday night, a rare highlight for the rebuilding franchise who just watched former star Daniel Murphy get traded from Washington to the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs have made a slew of deals and hunt of another World Series title, but also learned this week that standout free agent signing Yu Darvish is out for the rest of the season with an injury. Mets rookie Jeff McNeil kind of has a little Daniel Murphy feel to him. McNeil went 4 for 4 and hit a go-ahead double with 2 outs in the 8th inning that sent the Amazons over the San Francisco Giants 6-3 Tuesday night. The Mets are home this weekend for Washington. The Yankees are in Baltimore. Meanwhile, newest Brooklyn Net Kenneth Faried is in jail. You like that segue, don't you? A routine stop at a sobriety checkpoint in Bridgehampton, New York, led to the arrest of Nets forward Kenneth Faried for unlawful possession of marijuana. I guess he's probably not in jail at this point, but certainly not a good look for Faried and the Nets. However, the signing of Mitch Creek, in my opinion, is. The Australian basketballer is a step closer to realizing his NBA dream after officially signing to train with Brooklyn. You should check out his highlights on YouTube. He might be a diamond in the rough. The Knicks are hoping that they have found a gem with rookie Kevin Knox. Knox finished tied for second in NBA.com rookie survey voting, for which first-year player will have the best career. Knox was tied with LA Clipper rookie Jerome Robinson. Chicago's Wendell Carter finished first. Fellow Knick rookie Mitchell Robinson received votes for biggest steal, best defender in the draft. Biggest NBA buzz of the week belongs to this offseason pickup game. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard all worked out together at UCLA, fueling speculation on social media of what's to come. If something like this does come together, Magic Johnson is magic indeed. That would be showtime in LA. It will be showtime in Las Vegas in early October when McGregor and Khabib hit the octagon. The fight was recently announced and is already sold out. Nosebleed tickets on StubHub are already going for $750 a pop. A champion will be crowned that night. The WWE has found a new one in the world of wrestling, and it's Ronda Rousey. Of course, Rousey is no longer in MMA. She's in pro wrestling. And while a WWE title is a prestigious thing, and only 2 others, Brock Lesnar and Ken Shamrock, have held a UFC title and a WWE title like Rowdy, she is still getting a reminder from her former MMA rival Chris Cyborg on what's real and what's not. Cyborg took to Twitter and said, "Congrats to the baddest woman on the planet at Ronda Rousey on the first of many at WWE belts. Sincerely, the most feared woman on the planet." Hashtag Cyborg Nation. Pretty cool. Twitter and social media was also a place where fans could express their well wishes for race car driver Robert Wickens. The young up-and-comer had a terrible crash at Pocono last weekend. He's in the hospital recovering and had surgery. Words cannot describe how bad that crash really was. Alexander Rossi went on to win at Pocono, but admitted afterward it was hard to celebrate knowing what had happened to Wickens. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list and encourage sports fans to bid on eBay, especially on this one item. One disgruntled Knick fan is willing to switch team allegiance for the right price. Whoever bids the highest amount will be able to choose his favorite new team, and not only is he willing to root wholeheartedly for his new squad, but also he promises to bet $500 on the over for their win total, buy the NBA package to watch every one of their games, buy 2 different player jerseys, and attend 2 games in person, 1 at home and 1 on the road. After setting the minimum bid at $1,973. 1973 is the year of the Knicks' last championship. The high bid has climbed well past that. Pretty cool idea. And speaking of a cool idea, head out to Orchard Beach this Sunday to see the 24th annual BronxNet First Latino Sports Basketball Game. We will have community events planned for the entire day. We encourage everyone to bring their families and friends on out to the beach, and no eBay bidding is required. It's all free. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
Don't forget to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV. And while you're there, tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. It's that time of the year again. That time we get to highlight a few of the contestants from this year's 2018 Mr. Organization competition. A competition which men are given the opportunity to participate in different events that include seminars, photo shoots, press presentations, and a final gala where one man will be crowned the 2018 Mr. Let's welcome some of the contestants. Marco Suarez, a professional boxer and is now pursuing a career in the film industry. Let's give it up for Marcos. Our next contestant is William De La Cruz, who works in law enforcement and currently has his own fitness program, Live More. Let's give it up for William. Our last contestant is Tashi Jatso from Tibet, the youngest contestant who at 16 is continuing to pursue his modeling career. Let's give it up for Tashi. All right, well, welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness, look at this year's competition. So, you know, we've always showcased the 2018 Mr. contestants, and so each year we get to get a nice sneak peek of what's in store. And so just share with us how long this process is and what you've already, I guess, dived into in your development.
So this year's competition is a little bit different because this is the first year where the winner of the 2018 Mr. Organization will be able to compete internationally. So previous years, the competition was for a week. So during that week, there's certain segments. We have sports competition, photo shoots, video throughout the whole week. This year, you know, Aldo, which is the director, he's made it more convenient for people outside of the New York City area to be able to compete. So having said that, he made it a 3-day weekend competition, September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
Okay, so in the meantime, right, because I've been watching this pageant develop throughout the years, and as you're sharing, it's evolving, and now it's evolved into this international competition, and I also understand that it's also now incorporating social media as a means of being judged. So let's talk a little bit about that. Has that already started?
Yeah, so for the past couple of weeks, we've been doing challenges. We've only done 2 so far. The first challenge was just to do an unusual workout with an unusual object at an unusual place. So we kind of had to just get really awkward with that. The second challenge was
So you had to do an unusual workout in an unusual place with an unusual object.
Exactly.
All right, and you all participated.
Yeah.
We all participated. So
Okay,
we
I
had
need
people.
to know what this is. Where did you do it, and what did you use?
So I use swim noodles, which is like a couple of sticks that float in the water. And I did a boxing workout under a bridge in the Bronx. And yeah, I pretty much was just punching the swim noodles and moving my head. Just working on position and stuff like that.
Okay, so Marcos did swim noodles under the bridge.
Yeah.
Kind of poetic. I don't know. And William?
He was under the bridge. I was in the sand. So I decided, you know, that it would be nice for my whole body to be covered in sand. So I was just doing a lot of plyometrics. I have my own little fitness brand, so I always try to do crazy things. And I was just getting my whole body involved with the ground. And, you know, it was fun.
And Tashi?
I went to upstate over the weekend.
Uh-huh.
And then I went to a lake, and I did squats there. I had my brother over my shoulder, and then I had my little brother over his shoulder, and I did like squats.
You did squats with two people on your
Yeah,
shoulders?
in the lake. No, my little brother, he's like 3, and then my older brother, he's 18. So.
Like I said, you did squats with two people? All right, we'll call it 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
In the water?
Yeah, in the water.
In the water. Okay, cool. That's cool.
The
It's
crazy
safe.
one.
It's very important.
The crazy one, I think we saw this guy that he had like 2 canned goods, and he was just going like this. It was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because the Mr. Organization consists of usually 12 candidates. So, you know, it's just 3 of us representing this organization
Today, right?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
there's 12 of you that are
12 of
competing
us.
right now.
Exactly.
When did this competition start?
When?
Yeah, like this particular,
year?
this year, yeah.
So I would say it's ongoing because
Yeah.
this is like I said, it's going more international. So he's made it more convenient.
No, I'm not referencing the organization itself. I'm saying this year's competition.
it's-
Like, see, I've been always trying to figure out, because as it continues evolving and then things get shifted, and I've never been able to really grasp the concept of how long of a process it is, right? I understand that it's a 3-day competition.
Yes.
Now, over the weekend in September, but prior to that, right now, you're doing social media challenges.
Yeah.
And so I wondered, like, when did you guys meet up? How did you meet up? How did you qualify? Was there an audition? Those things.
Exactly.
Okay, so it was different this year. Like he said earlier, this is actually probably one of the first times we've actually met up as a group. It's been different because of the fact that everyone's so far away. So he made it more convenient so that we meet on that weekend.
But
When you say everybody's far away,
Yeah.
So we have people, you know, from Boston. We have a couple of contestants from Florida.
Yeah,
I
Puerto
think one is
Rico.
from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So instead of everybody coming in for a week, he made it for a weekend trip, and he's been communicating with us via social media, WhatsApp,
Yeah.
and literally like he's the best director ever. Like he wakes up every morning and sends us like a motivational text. Hey, how's your day going? Make sure you do something productive today. And he sends us a couple challenges, and we have like a week time frame to do it.
who is
So,
this?
Aldo.
Aldo,
Yes,
yeah,
he's
you're
the
trying to
director.
gain points over there, right? He's the best. I'm kidding. It's good. No, it's good. It's good. It's important, right? Because here you're all kind of involved in the development of a male pageant, which is something very rare. And the fact that he executes it with such integrity, and it's really about I guess showcasing chivalry, right? Because aside from the fact that you guys are modeling and you're doing these fitness challenges, I love the name of the pageant itself. It's called the Mr. Organization. We've had the various reigning Misters in the past, and the one thing that I always say is like, you know, I don't know where he finds everyone, and the fact that now he's amplified it and put it out to the social media platform, it's only going to grow and it's only going to get bigger from here. So I'm just curious, like, how does he, narrow it down to the amount of individuals, and how is he managing, I guess, communicating with all of you? You said through WhatsApp, but how is it that you guys are meeting your deadlines? It's just a very fascinating concept, the whole thing.
It's very spontaneous. We have the ability to have a social media, the Mr. Organization. He also has a website. So basically, he recruits through that social media, and people email him, and he's able to, kind of have a phone interview with you. And after that, he says, if you're part of the organization, because it's not just about looks. It's about representing men, men with integrity, men with class, with a little bit of style in the end. But in the end of the day, there's a lot of society perceives men in many different aspects in life, and we have the opportunity to not only represent this organization, but men across the country, of
Which
value,
I love,
integrity.
and different age brackets, right? Because
Exactly.
we've got young Tashi over here.
Yeah.
The youngie right
You're
here.
the youngest, right?
Yeah, I'm 16.
Yeah, so how did you find the Mr. organization?
Actually, my friend, he competed last year, and he was on the show too. You remember Rinzing or no? Rinzing?
From the Mr.?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's been so many hunks that come through here. I'm like, oh, which one? Ugh.
Yeah. That's how I found out, because he was telling me about how it like helped him. He wanted to become a film actor.
Right.
And it helped him like get known.
Right,
Yeah.
it helped him with visibility
Yeah.
and networking and
Yeah.
things of
Opens
that
up a lot
nature,
of
which is
opportunities.
awesome. So I have one question before we go. If you reign as the Mr. organization, what do you stand for? What are you going to represent in your stand?
Well, I want to stand for hope. I have a crazy story. It's been a long ride up to this point. I'm a professional boxer. I've been at some of my highest points, but I've also been at some of my lowest points, health-wise and everything.
So you're hope.
Yes, I'm hope.
William.
One word?
Yes.
Energy.
Energy.
I believe that society is built around energy. Everybody has a lot of situations that we can't control, whether it's jobs, careers, you name it. And if we have a certain energy we could have, whether it's fitness or dancing or even this competition, we're able to divert that attention from your negativity in your life. And it's just about, nuance and taking up new challenges. So
Oh my
different
goodness,
energy.
I love it. I love it. And Tashi.
Tibet, one word. That's
Tibet?
Yeah.
Just representing.
I'm representing my country because my country is really small. Currently, like it's occupied by China, but like we're on the like official like papers or whatnot. It's considered part of China, like, but like we as like Tibetans, we don't consider ourselves Chinese, even though like that's how the world sees it.
It's beautiful. You're putting Tibet on the map
Yeah.
and representing them. Wonderful. Well said, gentlemen, and good luck to all of you. You have my vote, all three of you. Thank you.
September 23rd.
September 23rd?
Yeah, Symphony Space
September
Theater.
23rd.
Yes,
Where is it?
Symphony Space Theater.
Where?
Symphony Space
In the
Theater.
Symphony Space
Yeah.
Theater. Very
We're
nice.
getting tickets now. You can follow us through social media. As we said, we have a lot of upcoming challenges.
Yeah.
The last challenge, Aldo wanted us to walk up to a random stranger
Yeah.
and basically ask them, hey, why should we be the Mr. and present ourselves.
And so you guys have that, that's all being publicized through
Exactly.
social media.
Yes.
Love. So basically they should be following you guys at Mr.
The
Org.
Mr. Org
At Mr.
on
Org
Instagram.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you,
No
Marcos,
problem.
William, Tashi.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
very much.
good luck
Yeah,
to
thank
you
you
all.
for having us.
Once again, you guys, for more information on the Mr. organization, be sure to visit them on their website by going to Mr.org. And of course, if you want to be part of the challenges, make sure you follow them on Instagram at Mr. Org. All right, that is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through, and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Adios.
Thank you.